Oswego Community Unit School District Board of Education meeting for November 4th, 2024. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Cerrone. Mr. Gatewood. Ms. Johnson. Dr. Murillo. Mr. Ploger. Ms. Simulton.
Present.
Ms. Venmus. Our student board members, Hope Brie. Here. And Callie Parnell. Here.
If everyone could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and the flag is here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. And it's inspiring to see so many community members, staff, students, and parents. And it's appreciative that we are all eager and able to gather here tonight to contribute to the future of our schools. As we begin this public forum focused on strategic planning, I want to emphasize that this is a collaborative process. We're here to listen, to gather insights, and understand what matters most to you regarding our students and their education and their well-being. Strategic planning gives us the opportunity to look ahead, to envision the kind of school district we want to be, and establish a roadmap to get there. The plan will serve as our guide over the next several years, helping us to set priorities, to allocate resources, and measure progress, all with a focus on preparing our students for success in an ever-changing world. Our goal tonight is to learn together about the planning process and to hear directly from you, your perspectives, your concerns, and your ideas. The experiences you bring to the table are essential to building a strategy that reflects the needs and aspirations of our entire community. As we move forward, let's keep our focus on students. Every decision we make, every goal we set, and every resource we allocate should be driven by our commitment to their growth, safety, and future success. Thank you for being here, for your dedication, and for your partnership in shaping the future of our district. We look forward to engaging in an evening of great conversation. So thank you again for being here. And now I would like to introduce our superintendent, our Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Heather Kincaid, to begin our presentations. Oh, okay. We're going to do something different?
Let's give our president a round of applause. Ultimately, good evening, everyone. I'm Andalip Kilgadi, school superintendent. It is truly my honor to lead School District 308. And looking around the room, nothing brings me greater joy than to see the passion and the commitment to getting things done for our district. That is why we are here tonight, and I am so grateful to the board's leadership in really empowering the district, our staff, our students, and really this evening to really initiate a process to think about how we galvanize our resources. Resources are a broad term. That goes from everything from funds to time to human capital to how we think about our curriculum. There are a lot of priorities. And this evening, as I look around, I know that there are a variety of passions, commitments, concerns, things that have brought you here this evening. It's extremely, whether it's from concerns about your child who may have special needs, or your child who has not had the opportunity to experience accelerated learning, or your child who has been subject to unfair disciplinary practices that have marginalized them in their school, or your child who may not have the right equipment because it is outdated from decades long, or your child who may be in a program that hasn't had the right curriculum for years and years and years, and only the teachers have made the time to make those changes. Friends, that process of resolving those tensions, those competing priorities, is exactly why we called and we structured a facilitated conversation to make sure everybody's voice in this room would be heard and the board would have an opportunity to collect feedback on that information and to hear the feedback from that information. What you will experience tonight is really a chance to think about how we start to think about those priorities. Dr. Kincaid in a few minutes is going to walk you through the work that we are intending to continue this year that we're going to need everyone in this room support for. Ultimately, this is not going to be my plan. It's not going to be Dr. Kincaid's plan. It's going to be our plan. And truly only through that collaborative effort will we get to where we need to, which is sustained plans for success and economic viability. That is not going to be an easy road. And we have individuals who spend a lot of time thinking about how we can save every fund. In fact, this month we are for the first time doing a coordinated purchase of paper. You heard me, coordinated purchase of paper. You may think, wow, what does that mean? That means that we have essentially been purchasing retail. Schools have had individual rights to buy paper. That, friends, is not the result of people not wanting, it's the result of a lack of a system of support to ensure our schools had the right resources to do what they had to do. We are moving in that direction. And when I came to this district, somebody said, July 1st of 2023, together we started to really discuss a number of things that you see up here. The challenges that I heard in those first 100 days, that I heard as I met with community members. Why is an IEP in this building different than an IEP in that building? Why is my child excluded from school, and I know my neighbor's child did the same thing and was not excluded from school? Why is there a 90% administrative staff turnover? What does that mean? If you're a teacher and every year you've got to call the district office and there's a new person? We have changing needs in terms of our student population. We're still we are still heavily in debt from a 2006 debt related to building our schools. And what's coming up is those buildings are now getting ready to, many of them, because they're all built at the same time, guess what? Similar needs. Building roof repairs. Repairs of our windows. Repairs of things that are going to cost a lot. We also have a low industry tax base. Raise your hand if you think your tax is already too high. Right. So the reality is that you're already squeezed, and yet we've got to figure out how to do with more with less in this district. So ultimately, though, we have great schools. We have, Barnes & Noble doesn't decide to put up shop. They left Naperville to come here. What does that tell you? There's a commitment to this community. There's a belief in this community. There's a passion for this community. And that's what gets me going every single day. And I am confident that together we will find a way to ensure that we are wise about our funds, we are strategic in how we plan our future, so that our educators don't have to be the ones who we rely on solely to do the good work in this district and to move us forward. And I am so grateful for the team that put together the planning of the organization for a facilitated conversation to ensure that every voice is heard this evening. And that in the months to come, we are going to rely and call on your support. And we thank you for starting this so strong. So I'm going to turn it out to Dr. Kincaid. Let's give Dr. Kincaid a round of applause, folks.
Thank you. Alrighty. As Dr. Calgatti mentioned, what you're going to see and what we're going to talk about for the next few minutes really starts upon his arrival in 2023. But all of us know that this really extends much, much further in the past. I myself have been a community member for the last 16 years. This is my 6th year in the district, and my baby just graduated from OE last year. So I walked into SAG last week going, this is the first time that I don't have two roles as parent and as district employee. But I have seen my kids go through our elementary, middle schools, and high schools. So we have a lot to share. I'm going to go quickly because it's really not about what I say. All of this information is being provided to you. We want to hear what you have to say. So I'm going to talk very quickly about opportunities over the next couple of months, and you will see them in your emails and on our district website. So this is essentially where we've been and where we're going. We started in July of 2023, and hold on, there's supposed to be a clicker.
Here we go.
See?
I clicked ahead for you.
Oh, thank you kindly. I'm going to go back though. All right, so we started with a collective vision. We wanted to make sure that all of our team was on the same page. We then are moving into precision this year using that information. Our goal, as you can see at the end of the road, is a new strategic plan. So where did we start? We decided that we had to start with a strategic roadmap. We were coming out of COVID. There were gaps and holes all over the place. We figured at that time to try to quickly put together a strategic plan would not be the most effective for our staff members, for our kids, for our community. So what we did is we brought people together and we really focused on a strategic roadmap. What did we need to address first? Like, what was the most essential thing? We then brought in an organization to do an organization and curriculum audit. We needed to have some information because, again, we were coming out of COVID. So where are we now? We're actually implementing that strategic roadmap and findings from the curriculum audit. Our Learning Innovation Station today has some of that information from the curriculum audit. But essentially, this is where we are right now in our schools. What you see on the left is what our school improvement plans this year are focusing on. We're focusing on high quality instruction. Every school in our district has a goal about high quality instruction. We're focusing on equity and rightful presence. As you heard Dr. Kelgati talk about, we want to make sure each student not only has a voice, but a place in our schools. And third, we're focusing on effective systems and teams. Again, you hear about we need to work together collaboratively for a shared vision. What you see on the right is really the building blocks of our school improvement teams. What are they focused on throughout working through the plan? These are really the building blocks that we're going to use to get from our strategic roadmap to our strategic plan. So this is the how. How are we going to go from a roadmap to a plan? As you can see, the three main areas we're going to focus on are the master facility plan, programmatic reviews and hazardous travel studies, and then our strategic plan. Those will be encompassed in the what. So here's some information about the individual projects. So our master facility plan is really in 3 phases. Phase 1 started today. Yes. So Mr. Queen and Andre both walked buildings. We had 4 buildings covered today, but phase 1 is a facility condition assessment. Over the next couple weeks, phase 1 will be completed as our master facility plan. Phase 2, then, we start to look at the educational needs in our buildings. So while the condition assessment is very important, Dr. Kelgati talked about roofs, HVAC, windows, all of that extremely important, but so is how we use our buildings in an educational setting. The third phase, then, is how do we want to use our buildings? What are those needs? What do we want to change in order to have an educational opportunity that we don't have right now? So those are the 3 phases over the next year or so that we'll be engaging our community through, our staff and our students. We also will be engaging in a student assignment plan. This year, the focus is on a program review of our multilingual and our special ed students. We know that we've got programs for these learners at a variety of different schools. We need to do an effective program review to make sure that we are servicing our students in the best way possible. Coupled with this, we also have two transportation things that we are looking at. One is our hazardous crossing review. We have not done a hazardous study in many years. The other part is really just a systems review. We're currently using an antiquated version of our routing software that we need to make sure that we update and include new geo-mapping within the software so that routing our students as effective as possible. All of this then will lead to our strategic plan. So we're looking at our roadmap, our audit. We have a team working on a profile of a learner, staff member, and leader. So what are those qualities that we are looking for within our district? And there will be staff, community, and student engagement throughout. Essentially, this is why. This is what we're looking for, ultimately, is to accomplish our mission. So these are our questions that we're looking for, dreaming of, trying to plan for the best opportunity for both our students and staff. So with that, I would like to turn this over to Dr. Waller, who will talk about our next steps to get you going into one of our 5 focus areas. And here's your clicker, so you're prepared.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We are looking forward to having a very thoughtful and engaging conversation with all of you tonight. And we decided to do this in the form of a World Cafe. Ms. Pryor is going to join me up front as she has been in collaboration with a lot of our team in putting some of these moving parts together. But this is an opportunity for us to gain as much feedback from you as possible so that it will inform our work moving forward.
Thank you, Dr. Waller. I did not realize how many familiar faces is in here. I'm so happy to see everybody. We are going to engage in what's called a World Cafe. I do want to preface with, we love having everyone here, and we have had to make some pivots because there are so many people here, so some patience would really be appreciated as we go through the process. So I want to talk a little bit about the things that you need before we get started. Everyone should have been given either a clipboard or a folder. Within that folder is going to be a AAA protocol. And at the top, you will see attendee notes. You're going to see assumptions. You're going to see agree. And you're going to see aspire. Is there anyone that does not have that AAA protocol? We have one person that doesn't have it. I want to be sure that everyone has what they need in order to be successful. So we have one. Keep your hands up, please. 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Someone over there does not have the AAA protocol. Let's make sure that they have that. 2 hands, one here, that still need the AAA protocol. Don't be shy. You're going to need it to be successful, and we want you to experience success. So if you don't have it, now's the time. Perfect. Perfect. Everyone has it now? So I said you're going to need 3 things, one of which is the AAA protocol. Everyone has it. If you have the AAA protocol, you should have a 1-pager, which is 5 sheets. And those 5 sheets are the 5 possible sessions that you can attend. And I'll go into more detail with that. You're going to see one for learning and innovation, diverse learners, transportation and finance, master facility. Everyone has that. If you do not, now's the time to say so we can make sure that you have those 1-pagers. The reason that you have 5 is because you can only go to 3 sessions, but you might want to get a slight overview of what's happening in the other sessions, so we want to be sure that you're able to take that resource home with you. Does everybody have the 5 one-pagers? Who's missing one-pagers? Which one are you missing? We're missing a diverse learners one-pager here. Can we get that over here? Okay. Perfect. Thank you. And does the third thing that you need is something to write with? Why? Because you're taking notes, right? Okay, good. Alrighty, so if you can go back to the slide right before. So let's go through our ground rules of World Cafe. Active listening. Active listening, one person is speaking at a time. Every single voice is important, and we want to be sure that we capture what you're saying. So one person at a time. Respect, being respectful of what people share. It might not align with your thoughts or your feelings, but we want to be sure that we're respectful of what everyone has to share in the space. One person speaking at a time. And then curiosity, move into this space with curiosity, just wanting to know more, right? And then open-mindedness, all ideas are welcome. One thing that's incredibly important, we not only have parents here, staff members here, we have scholars here, right? And what we're trying to build is the best experience for them possible. So I want to be sure that our scholars have an opportunity to be present in the spaces. And then everyone has the opportunity to share. So let's talk about the process, all right? So you can choose 3 of the 5 areas, only 3. You probably already know your 3, but you can choose 3. There will be 15-minute sessions. I will walk around quickly just to show you where you will go for each session, but while you are choosing your sessions and I am walking around, please know that if a session is full, there are 3 opportunities. So move on to another session and circle back to that one that is full because you get 3 opportunities. So over here, can you hold that sign up for me, please? Here, these 3 tables are finance, technology, and transportation. One of the things that I asked is if you could please be patient. We are going to create one more section for that, and it will be these 3 tables. So we will pull those tables together shortly, okay? This section back here, can you hold that up for me, please? This is diverse learners, okay? Walk with me. Next session over here is learning and innovation. Next session over here, rightful presence and student voice. And over here, here's another place where we're asking for a little bit more patience because we are going to have 2 sections. Here is going to be master facilities and operations. We're going to do these 3 tables, and then we'll do these 3 tables. So we'll have to push these together just a little bit. All right? And these 3 also. All right. Are there any questions before I move on with next steps? No? Okay. So you get to choose 3 of the 5. When you get to that section, all right, let me try this. If you can hear my voice, clap 1 time. If you can hear me, clap 2 times. If you can hear me, clap 3 times. All right, the reason I do that is because I want to be sure that everybody is paying attention and you know what to do. All right, have an idea of where you want to go. Each session is 15 minutes. Someone will give an overview, one of the administrators, and then they will begin to give you an opportunity to share any thoughts that you have from that AAA protocol. There is a scribe at every section, and they will just be taking notes to capture what you say. And then there are 2 facilitators there to support. Any questions? After the 3rd round, we are going to go into what is called harvesting ideas. So after your 3rd round, you come back to your tables, and we will ask you one final question to reflect on that gives us an opportunity to capture what we need to do to ensure that each and every student thrives. Does that all make sense? All right. Do you know where you are going? All right. Go, and I will tell you when to begin. Do 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 do.
Is everybody going to hear them? Well, we don't need everybody to hear them because all those people.
You can't do that. I thought you. Well, because
Facilitators, if you have not moved on to the AAA protocol, you have about 45 seconds to finish your overview and then begin going through the AAA protocol if you have not already started. If you have not started the AAA protocol, please begin that now. We have 10 minutes for this session. We have 1 minute and 15 seconds. So wrap up your final thoughts. Okay. If you can hear me, clap 1 time. If you can hear me, clap 2 times. If you can hear me, clap 3 times. All right, we're going to do 1 more round. If you can hear me, clap 5 times. It's time to move. Thank you so much for your patience. Go to your second session. I will tell you when the time starts. We're moving to your second session of choice. Okay, facilitators, you can begin your overview. I will set the timer for 15 minutes, no more than 5 minutes on your overview, and then begin asking your questions from the AAA protocol. If you have not moved on to the AAA protocol, you have 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in this session. We have 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left in this session. All right. I'm going to pause you for just a second. I'm going to pause you for just a second. I'm going to pause you for just a second. Okay. Thank you. All right. It is time to move to round 3, this section right here where I am, Master Facilities and Operations. If you want to stay for another round, you may. Everyone else, round 3, go to your third session, please. Third session. Third session.
Different question. Exactly. Yeah.
Please make your way to your third session. Your third session. Make your way to your third session. We're going to begin in about 30 seconds. We're going to begin in about 30 seconds. Make your way to your third session, please. Make your way to your third session, please. Facilitators, one more round. Please give your overview, no more than 5 minutes, and then begin your protocol. If you have not moved into the protocol, please do so at this time. We have 2 minutes left in this session. 2 minutes. Please wrap up your last thought. We have 30 seconds left. All right. When I say bring it, you say back. Bring it. Let's try it again. Bring it. Bring it. All right. Please go back to your original tables. If you were at table 1 at the start, please go back to table 1. If you were at table 9 at the start, please go back to table 9. If you were at table 7, please go back to table 7. Quickly, please. Back to your original spots. Please go back to your original tables. Please go back to your original tables. Back to your original tables. If you are at a table without a number, please move up. If you are at a table without a number, please move up. If you are at a table without a number, please move up. You too. If you are at a table without a number, please move up. Any table. Go to any table, sweetheart. You're not gonna be wrong. If you are at a table without a number, please move up. All right, if you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, I'm gonna see who's listening to me. If you can hear me, clap 3 times. If you can hear me, clap 5 times. Yep, I wanted to see if you were listening. Okay, this is very important. So please have your listening ears on. This very last question. This is incredibly important, right? The goal of all of this, all of the questions, all of the feedback is for us to collect that feedback, what you feel like you need in order to ensure that your scholar has the very best experience that they can, so that they can move beyond just surviving and they can actually thrive in the school district. So here's the question that you will reflect on and talk about at your table. Every single table with a number should have a scribe. That person, again, is taking note of every single thing that you say. So the question is, in what ways did this learning experience shape or contribute to your ideal vision, ensuring that each and every scholar thrives in this school district? That is the conversation. You will have 5 minutes. Your scribe will take notes. So again, the question up here, in what ways did this learning experience shape or contribute to your ideal vision, ensuring each and every student thrives? I am going to set the timer. We only have 5 minutes for this activity, so be sure that you give everyone an opportunity to share. I'm going to start the timer right now, and there should be a scribe there to support. So this table doesn't have a scribe, so you want them to collect feedback on that question? You guys seem like you're good. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, Dr. Kogati. One more minute. Okay, when I say bring it, you say back. Bring it. Bring it. You guys must be tired tonight. When I say bring it, you say back. Bring it. Bring it. All right. You guys, let me say this. Number one, keep in mind that our goal is to gather feedback for what you need. Our goal is to gather feedback for what you need, what questions you have, what our scholars need in order to be successful. That is the goal of this. I want to thank everybody for taking the time. I want to thank everybody for their feedback, for their patience. One of our core values is collaboration. I do look at this as a form of collaboration because we will synthesize all of this information. And I know that some people have so much more that they want to share, but we only have so much time. So again, thank you. I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Kelgati. He is going to close it out.
That a parent came up to me and shared that there were some lost opportunities tonight in terms of the structure, in terms of some of the detail, the feedback, in terms of translation for those who may only speak Spanish, in addition to other ways we could have been more inclusive. So I just want to thank you for the feedback we're receiving about that. We are a learning organization, and we are committed to learning. So I need that feedback. We need that feedback. It's the only way we get better. We want our students to get better. We've got to get better, and we've got to do better. And so I apologize for any missteps, misunderstandings, or lost opportunities. I take responsibility, and I commit to learning from it and to doing better. And I want to thank you for your patience. I want to say, secondly, I want to thank our facilitators. Can we give them a round of applause? Y'all brought the fire tonight, and I want to thank you for that, because ultimately, it's that passion that we need in our community to make it the best place, because it is already an incredible place to come to work and to go to school. And so we want to make every place of our schools better. I want to now invite Mr. Gatewood to come up and share some final closing remarks.
Can we give a thanks to the administrators and all the teachers and everyone who came out, and then to yourselves for this amazing, amazing night. This is one of the most well-attended forums, and so we just most definitely appreciate you coming. So thank you for being here and for all of your active participation. We've actually explored, it's been some amazing conversations that I've been a part of, a lot of great feedback, and we've explored challenges and we've listened to your valuable insights, which are essential to help us to continue to shape our strategic plan. And I want to remind everyone that this is a collaborative journey. This is a journey, and we continuously will invite you to continue to share and to continue to engage in this essential process for us moving forward. We'll be taking everything that you've shared tonight into important data points in order to include it and to inform our planning. And we'll update you on our next steps and how we'll continue update you on the next steps and how you can continue to contribute to that process. So again, we thank you for your support and for your dedication, and together we are confident that we will continue to create a strategic plan that reflects our shared vision and our values, setting us up for a bright and sustainable future. So thank you all so much for tonight.
Finally, some technology. We've had a lot of it, but we had a lot of paper and pencil, paper technology tonight. We're going to give you a chance to give you some digital technology. On the screen is a QR code. If you would take that screenshot. Also, in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to host a Zoom version of a follow-up to tonight that you can come and join and give more feedback, because tonight we could have probably gone till midnight if we had more time.
So here's an opportunity now for public comment. So on behalf of the Board of Education, I would like to thank the public for attending tonight's meeting. And we value the feedback we receive from our members of the public and encourage everyone to take an active interest in their public school systems. Residents interested in speaking to the Board of Education, we are asking that you complete a comment card and present it to the secretary to the board. When the secretary calls your name, I ask that you come to the microphone, state your name for the public record, and provide your feedback. Please note that comments are limited to 3 minutes per person and 30 minutes in total. And no responses to your questions are permitted. Comments should address the Board of Education as a whole and not be directed to an individual board member, audience, or staff. The Board of Education will not address concerns against individual employees. Rather, a complaint against an employee must be in writing and signed by the person who makes it, and the Board of Education will refer any such complaints for appropriate review. Follow-up to your questions or concerns will be addressed by administration through the contact information provided on the comment card. Thank you. Go ahead.
Ryan Dolan.
Okay, hold on, Ryan. Do you have a timer? Do you have the timer? Okay. So we got a lot of comments. Okay.
Try real quick. Go ahead. Yeah, sorry. Okay. All right. Hello. I got some notes I wrote down here, so try to make it a little quicker. My name's Ryan Dolan. I'm an owner of a local family real estate company called Dolan & Murphy. We're out of Aurora. Been in Oswego, though we've lived in Oswego here for about 14 years. We specialize in commercial, industrial, farmland, investment real estate. Company was started by my father, Dan Dolan, in 1965. I've personally been a broker going on 28 years. I like to joke that real estate is my part-time job and volunteer youth athletic coaching is my full-time job. Definitely have a passion for both. I believe the two passions allow me a unique look at what we're discussing today. And is everyone aware or has kind of seen the movement of Oswego Unity Fields at all? If anybody knows what we're talking about there? We'll have some more comment on it from others, hopefully. But as a coach, I've traveled all over the country with our teams, and we've seen some tremendous facilities around the country. These facilities offer a unique opportunity for the area. Okay, seen firsthand the positive economic impact these projects can have on a local community. I'm talking about there's a park in Bettendorf, Iowa called TBK Park. 15 baseball fields, soccer fields, football fields that are host tournaments weekly, okay? They're revenue generators, they're economic drivers to communities. And it's not just the thousands of people that come every week, it's the real estate development that follows. I'm talking about hotels, restaurants, commercial developments. What I've come to find out tonight, and I knew it was a hill to climb, but we've obviously got a financial issue here that's greater than maybe we even have known from the start. We need to create revenue in this area. We're not going to get massive industrial buildings, millions of square foot of industrial or corporate offices here to help boost our revenue. And if we have to rely on property tax to be our main source of funding, it's going to be a continued problem. This type of project, just as an example, New Lenox is doing one now, okay? On 100 acres, they're taking 10 acres they're keeping for restaurants, hotels, and such, building, I think, 28 fields, turfed. Their projections for year one in revenue are $12 million a year in revenue. By year 3, double it to $24 million. And by the end of that, the fulfillment of that project, $34 million in economic impact to the area, okay, to New Lenox. This was funded by the city of New Lenox. They invested in this. We have got to work on a collaboration. Got you. Sure, no problem. There'll probably be more. Okay, thank you, everyone.
I'm going to move it so people can see the timer. That way we don't have to.
Ryan Chrissy.
Here you go, sir. And you can probably see the timer up there.
Awesome.
So keep your stuff.
I practiced. Should be 2:30. Should be about 2:30. Oh, no. Rush. Okay. Where should I go? Restart the timer. Where do you want me to go? Okay. To each of you here today, whether you're a parent, student, and any of the students here, awesome job, by the way, for being here. Thank you so much for everyone's time for being here, board and the admins. It takes a lot to deal with what happened today. So seriously, mad props to you guys for sticking in and listening and all those things. I'm a parent of 2 students in the district. I am involved with Oswego Unity Fields and Oswego Catalyst Group. So both groups want to form a collaborative effort within the governing bodies to bring something incredibly unique to the community. This is more than just a project. It's a smart, sustainable solution that keeps our community dollars local. In 2021, the village of Oswego lost $287 million to neighboring towns due to economic leakage. This is according to an economic leakage report provided to the group from the village. With multi-use turf fields, we can reduce the outflow, drawing visitors to Oswego and keeping our kids' activities local, benefiting businesses and fostering community spirit. The space utilized for the project could be on current parcels of school land and park district lands. The initiative follows a 3P principles: public-private partnerships. It aims to utilize underdeveloped public lands and outdated facilities within SD308, transforming them into versatile spaces that for new tax revenues. It answers key community needs and concerns. 1, employing financially sound model with no tax increase. 2, unifying local stakeholders with support of sports organizations and investors. 3, modernizing outdated facilities, redirecting SD308's budget for necessary school infrastructure, curricular needs, professional development for staff based off the revenues coming in. 4, creating revenue streams that benefit local businesses and public bodies alike. 5, offering many of the school's instructional spaces and competition or practice spaces where all kids from all walks of life, including Special Olympics, can benefit from top-notch facilities. In the end, thank you to everyone that is here, administration, board, and concerned citizens. Thank you very much.
Sean McClure.
Not as tall as these other gentlemen, so I got to pull it down here a little bit. So good evening, Sean McClure, 25-year resident of Oswego. My wife, Kathy, actually went to Oswego, and so she's been here, she won't want me to say this, but she's probably been here 55 years when it's all said and done. But I have two young boys. One is Aiden, who is a sixth grader at Trauber, and Declan, who's a freshman over at OHS. And I actually had the opportunity to see something great that our school board actually helped us with doing, which was bringing lacrosse to Oswego. And in the spring, we're going to have lacrosse as the first opportunity, and we're going to have combined two high schools together, OHS and OE, coming together as one, and that's what you call community, coming together as one. You've already heard a little bit about Unity Fields, and when you say the word community, you get rid of the com, what is left is unity, okay? And when you look at some of the things you've already heard tonight, we obviously have some financial issues that we have to address, and I think the key understanding is that as a community, our revenue stream is not the best. Yes, we have Route 34, which we have all kinds of retail space, brings in tax dollars, but what supports this community is us here, the taxpayers. And there's assets that our school district owns that can be modified, brought up to today's standards, which is sports complexes, turf facilities that could host some of the events that you heard tonight. Because I'm tied to lacrosse, I've traveled throughout the country and I've seen these facilities. Rockford, Illinois, I was just there 2 weeks ago, 2-day event. Thousands of people come into Rockford for a one-weekend tournament, brings in over $250K just the event itself, not to mention the hotel revenue, the restaurant revenue. And if I go to Grand Park, which is part of our park district, they have a lacrosse tournament every spring, but when people want to go get lunch, they don't come into Oswego. They go south to Plainfield, or they go east to Naperville. So again, talking about leakage, our park district has an event in Grand Park where we do OYTF practicing today. But when people want to go and have food while the events are going on, there's food trucks that do come in from Plainfield, which again, food trucks coming from outside of Oswego, not even Freddy's is there. But when you look at the Unity Fields, it's the Oswego Catalyst Group, which is a lot of people in this room that really feel there's a vision that we can help our community and bring together what I call a community is your schools, your village, and your park district. That's what our community is. And over the 25 years that I've lived here, our administration for the school board, our administration for the village, and the park district have all worked in silos for their own benefit or their own goals. Today, I think there's a huge opportunity for our leadership at the school district, our leadership at the village, and our leadership at the park district to come together on this Unity Fields concept and not only bring revenue, but help the school district, help the community, and put us in a better place than we are today. So thank you.
Kelly Kennedy.
Well, thanks, Sean. I don't have to move the mic. Hello, I'm Kelly Kennedy. I'm the wife, mother of 4 kids, a public health professional, small business owner, and an active member of our school district and our community. And I'm happy to be here with you all tonight. I have to say, we need more of this. The dialogue is enriching, and there's a lot to be learned, and a lot of questions and comments that I wish I could have heard from others that I know they didn't have the opportunity to share. You have already heard from some community members about Unity Fields. I'm going to come at it a little bit differently. I absolutely agree. The foundation of that is motivated out of a need to provide funds and relief of our economic bondage that we're sitting in. So as a member that's involved in the village in economic development, I am 100% behind that. However, I want to also focus how it can be a path forward to providing multi-use turf fields, facilities for athletics, which we all know is something that galvanizes and unites across people of diverse backgrounds. So when we talk about unity, Oswego Unity Fields provides that. But it also offers an opportunity for activities that aren't sports. So think band competitions, think maybe cheer competitions. I'm sorry, that's athletic too. I know some people categorize it there. But I'm just thinking outside of the box opportunities. But moreover, I'd like to point out that such upgraded facilities can provide opportunities for students and the community, even beyond the aforementioned. This group, the Oswego Catalyst Group, which some of these gentlemen spoke about, they're proposing accessible fields, accessible facilities, and accessible playground. That is part of the concept plan. So as our school district continues to focus on rightful presence and inclusion, we can't just think about the athletes on these adventures. So let's not overlook that. Some of our very first friends we made when we moved to Oswego 3.5 years ago have a daughter with special needs, and she's a model of joy and kindness. And for me, that's something we could all learn from. I sat at the table in the harvest conversation, and that's what I heard from one of the table members, is we lack civility sometimes here, right? And so we need to do better. We need to learn from others who do it better than us. So Katie and other young people like her participate in the area regularly in Special Olympics. And I think one of the gentlemen mentioned that earlier. But for bocce ball practice, she gets to do that at Fox Chase Elementary right here in Oswego. But for everything else, they go to Yorkville, Plano, or much further beyond that. So I just want to point out that it's not only an opportunity for us to provide upgraded facilities, which we know are clearly needed here, not necessarily a higher priority than our classrooms and our instructional space, but they're needed. We are behind. We are sometimes the embarrassing place for people to come when you compare it to the other places. So let's not forget, though, that we should be delivering, that we can be delivering with Unity Fields on one of the pillars of who we say we are and who we want to be and who we're striving and what we're striving to do, which is be inclusive. So thanks to the Board of Education, thanks to the administration for the opportunity tonight, and thanks for your emphasis on providing opportunities in and outside of the classroom for all students.
Ryan Dolan. I'm going to call someone that had a different, okay. Shivani Ria.
Hi, I'm Shivani Ray. So basically my husband and I, we run a wellness company called Ninja Science Academy. He has taught science to over 15,000 students in all the districts in the Chicagoland area. In schools hire him for assemblies where he blows stuff up. But one of the biggest things that he has to offer is that he takes very complex concepts and makes them simple, beautiful, and increases curiosity in every child. So that's his passion. And for me, I'm a double black belt, a national gold medalist. I competed internationally and nationally in Taekwondo, karate. So martial arts has taught me the discipline, and together we've created this company called Ninja Science Academy. And I feel this program can really help enhance the school district. Overall, because our son, he goes to the school district, so we're kind of passionate about bringing our program and helping to enhance the quality of the schools by offering ancient wellness techniques that is a really good balance between technology and today's modern education. So using those techniques to really help foster learning, foster curiosity, and also just helping to build so using this concept, and I love the Unity Fields concept of really bringing the community together. We would love to offer fundraising opportunities and events and ways that we can really bring in revenue for the school, and also just to make our community stronger. So that was kind of my point. If anybody would love to connect, I would love to offer our skills to the community. This is my first time attending a public forum, and I'm super excited to be part of this community. And I hope there's a lot of room for collaboration.
John Modaff.
Hello, everyone. I kind of do stuff off the cuff. There's been a lot of great speakers here, a lot of people that have got a lot of good information tonight. Dr. Kilgotti's been very open, really appreciate him, talking. But I am part of the Oswego Unity Fields, Oswego Catalyst Group, and I've been a community member for about 40 years. So I've seen this town grow from here to here. Now, as we talked about tonight, a lot of our schools were built 20 years ago or more, a little bit more recent. So we see these financial, downfalls of previous administrations, okay? What we're doing, I'm a big part of OYTF. There's a lot of OYTF guys here. It's a youth football league. We are playing in Yorkville, okay? These are all mostly Oswego kids. We play on a hayfield in Yorkville, basically. Okay, it's very embarrassing. I invite friends and family out that go, what is up with this? Why am I coming to Yorkville? Why can't OYTF or the Oswego Bears, we have great representation from the Oswego Bears here tonight, why can't we play in Oswego? The Oswego Bears play in Aurora at AU. We play in Yorkville. We practice in Plainfield. It is Oswego School District. But to have pride, this community was built on taking care of its kids. Okay, we've already talked about the 3 Ps. We've talked about, private-public, partnering. And what we're trying to do is, without increasing taxes, improve facilities, bring money in for our kids. I mean, this affects all kids. We're talking about any kind of extracurricular activity, which most kids in our district do. We do something. Band is a huge thing. It's a huge draw. Our fields sometimes are muddy. We can't use them. I mean, baseball teams got to go play in Plainfield or Yorkville. What we're trying to do is trying to bring the school board, the park district, and private funding together to make Oswego a better place, but also to bring in tax dollars. Economic, we were over there talking, what is Oswego missing? We don't have huge, warehouses. We don't have that. People fight that, and I understand that people don't want semis driving through Orchard Road or 34, but the partnership we're talking about is to bring tax dollars in, but also improve to help the school not have to spend money. Just let us use your facilities. Let us get a lease on land, the old Trauber's been sitting there empty. It's very embarrassing in a way for us to do. This is just something, it's very passionate because I take great pride in Oswego. I consider this place my home, and it's always going to be my home. And I want to have pride in it, and I don't right now. It's very embarrassing. Even the high school football field, okay. Thank you. Peace out.
Faith Camardo.
Hello, I am not a speaker, and I did not prepare a speech because I wasn't supposed to be able to make it here tonight, but I will. I am not here to talk about the field. I support everything that you guys want with that. That's great, but figured we could mix it up a little bit. I am here to talk about just the need for more. I think that a lot of times when we're talking about inclusion of neurodivergent individuals, we're talking about welcoming them into our classrooms. And that's great that you will allow my neurodivergent son in your classroom. Thank you so much for not making him sit outside. But I would like to see more neuro-affirming classrooms, more neuro-affirming practices, more neuro-affirming development with the teachers. A lot of the teachers that are teaching in the schools were taught years ago. And I mean, if you think about what our knowledge of, say, I'm going to use autism for an example because that's what I know about, that's what my son has. A lot of these teachers went to school when autism was understood completely differently. And so if there's not continued education and professional development directed to updating these educators on how to be neuroaffirming specifically, then all these children are falling through the cracks. My son, this isn't an issue in the STARS program, that his STARS teachers are absolutely amazing and so just wonderful with him, so loving and warm and welcoming and thorough with him and everything. But then when he goes into the gen ed classroom, that's a different story. He is treated very differently. There were multiple instances in which he was kind of being excluded from their lessons. And I feel like I have been to multiple forums about these issues, and every time I'm told that my feedback is welcome, I give my feedback, and nothing happens. And it's kind of just swept under a rug and pushed aside, or I give my feedback, and they say, what can we do to make this situation better? And I tell them, and they say, oh, no, that won't work. So it's almost as if they already have an answer in their heads. This is how we're going to handle it. And I feel like they could benefit from humbling themselves a little bit in taking in this parent input. Okay, maybe you don't have the resources to fully educate all these educators on these advancements, on the new understanding and everything, then humble yourself and understand that as a parent, if I'm telling you I know what my child needs, maybe you can accept that and understand that. Also, just the fact that one of my son's the general educators, was not sending the newsletter to the kids from the STARS program that were integrating it. So my son and one other child come into this gen ed classroom to get math, reading, social studies, different items. That teacher was not sending her newsletter covering what was being covered in class to the students from the STARS program. And when I asked her about it, this is someone who's been taking STARS students for 5 years, she said, no STARS family has ever come to me and told me that they had an issue with the newsletter not being sent to them. Well, I'm sorry that these parents who probably didn't know your newsletter existed didn't, come to tell you that their child has an equal right to an accessible education. So I realize that I'm out of time, and I didn't get to a single point that I wrote down. I'm also neurodivergent. I have ADHD, so, I try. But anyway, so I would like us, we have this community here. We all have this need. We acknowledge this as a need. There's so many parents that have vocalized this over and over, and I'm not seeing any progress. We do need to have some type of professional development targeting neurodivergent education and inclusion included in the professional development. Thank you.
Jamie Howard.
Hi, thank you for having us. My name is Jamie Howard. I've been a resident of Oswego for over 25 years. I've spent almost 20 years coaching travel baseball and football, and I'm currently the president of Oswego Youth Tackle Football and Cheer. I'm also part of the Unity Fields collaboration. OITF is one of the largest and oldest football programs in the Chicagoland area, celebrating our 45th season and home to over 600 young athletes aged 6 to 14 for both football and cheer. We're also one of the largest tenants of the Oswegoland Park District, but as mentioned earlier, we practice in Plainfield. 2 years ago, OITF reviewed options to deal with space constraints for games due to our significant growth. We had over 25% growth coming out of COVID. We signed an agreement to move our games to a privately owned facility in Yorkville called Go For It Sports. The decision was based on criteria that would elevate not only the players' experience, but the families' experiences, such as basic field facilities like paid parking, restrooms, and power, all things the Park District, when we asked for their support in that, couldn't provide it. Over the last 2 seasons, OITF has hosted approximately 180 games on one field, one grass field, 180 games. On average, a high school season sees 15 games on one field, and we've had 90 just this season alone. So there's absolutely no way that we can maintain and take care of a field with that type of participation. We've paid over $40,000 in the last 2 years to an organization outside of our community. We see approximately 1,000 families a weekend come to our games in Yorkville, okay, and go and patronage local shops and restaurants in Yorkville, not Oswego. There are 22 towns in the Bill George League that we belong to, and OITF is only one of 3 towns that do not have any type of turf playing facility. We have grass for 90 games in one season. Our growth plan includes adding competitive cheerleading and girls flag football. We're expected to grow with over 200 participants in the next couple years. We need a long-term solution. We need a long-term partner. I've been asked by parents, by school officials, and by other organizations, why don't we play in Oswego? It's an easy answer. There's nowhere to play. Nowhere to play. When I moved here over 25 years ago, I moved here. Okay, thank you, and I really hope that we can continue our support and work together. I will.
Two more. Michelle Traeger.
Hi, Michelle Traeger, 4 kids in the district. I want to talk about Boulder Hill tonight, specifically in relation to what I talked about at the last board meeting, which is mental health. But first, I just want to share that I was told tonight that Boulder Hill is getting a new playground. It's a guaranteed grant, and it's going to be adaptive and beautiful, and the timeline is that as soon as the school year's over, they're going to start putting it in, and that is a huge positive. Thank you to everybody who worked on that. It's going to show those kids that they are valued by our district, and that is very important. So that's really exciting. But what I want to talk about is the issue of social work at Boulder Hill. I believe we have not had a stable, permanent, full-time social worker at Boulder Hill all year. We have 2.5 social work positions there that need to be filled. We've had 1 temporary contractor and now another, and I believe that person is not full-time. Kids who have IEPs with social work minutes, how are those minutes being met? Are they being met? Those are federally mandated minutes. There should be some urgency so we're not in violation of the IEPs. I know we can't get blood from a stone as far as making staff magically appear, but I also know there's a TA at Boulder Hill who has an MSW, but not the school certificate part. Is this something that Next Gen can be used for? Because she's been told yes, and she's also been told no. She's had virtual meetings scheduled with HR about it, and she has been blown off. Other schools may have more than 1 social worker, as well as interns. Those interns are now a quarter into the year and should be able to take on some of the caseload. Could one of the full-time social workers slide over to Boulder Hill at least part of the time? We know that Boulder Hill is the highest need elementary school. My daughter has had a wonderful experience there. But some students aren't getting support they need. And crucially, we need to give our wonderful staff some relief. So please act with urgency in trying to find a creative solution, especially when there are people who, God love them, are willing to possibly take on that role. Thank you.
Michael Gilio.
Good evening, members of the Board of Education and fellow community members. My name is Michael Gilio, my wife Brandy, and we are parents of student athletes in School District 308. Like many families here, I'm incredibly grateful for the athletic programs that help shape our students, teaching them valuable life skills, teamwork, and resilience. However, as we continue to prioritize our students' growth, I would like to highlight a concern shared by many of our parents regarding the current funding for our athletic programs. As it stands, parents contribute a $300 fee per sport each year per student, expecting these funds will support their child's activity directly. It has come to our attention over the course of time that these fees typically do not directly benefit the athletic department's related sports equipment, facilities, or even even events related to that specific sport. Instead, they are placed into a general fund, which is then redistributed to School District 308 priorities, however administrative leadership at central offices decides. This seems a bit like bait and switch in our opinion. When on top of these significant fees, families are frequently asked to participate in numerous fundraisers just to cover essentials like equipment and other resources that are critical to these programs. This cycle places a significant financial burden on parents and families, and it may limit access for some students whose families are unable to cover these costs or meet the fundraising demands. Opportunities like the Oswego Unity Fields Initiative offer a potential path forward, and one that can help directly improve athletic facilities and programs without raising the taxes of our local citizenry. By exploring partnerships like these, we have the chance to expand resources that support our students while also reducing the financial strain on families in our district and creating a more sustainable funding approach. This kind of investment would not only benefit the students directly, but would also help our district and community by bringing in additional revenues, ultimately reducing the financial load on taxpayers over time while improving facilities. More than just improved facilities, public-private partnerships as proposed with Unity Fields would ensure that our extracurricular programs are accessible, inclusive, and fully equipped to foster student success. Athletics play a pivotal role in this physical, social, and mental well-being of our students, and every young athlete should have the opportunity to participate fully, regardless of financial means. Thank you for your time, for considering solutions that prioritize our students' needs and well-being, while also benefiting the larger community. I pray that you will stand with the community that want this for the community so very much.
Okay, I'd like to give our board members an opportunity to have any final thoughts. Any of our board members have any final thoughts? Where are you guys? You want to come up? Yeah, because we need to hear you in the microphone.
What? You want to go first? Go ahead, please.
I'll just be quick because I know it's getting late at night, but I want to, on behalf of myself as a board member and likely the other board members, thank everyone for coming out. We enjoy the energy. When we sit at board meetings, we don't often have this many people in the room, so it's nice to get to sit next to people and talk about the things that we talk about on a regular basis. To note, we have several meetings a month that are public meetings, so you are always welcome at our regular board meetings, and we also have several committee meetings a month as well. And so we invite we invite you to attend those as well and learn even more in depth about the items that come to our full board meetings as well. So thank you again, everyone, for coming out. I appreciate it.
Okay, so I just want to give the details on those meetings, okay? So our Equity and Learning and Innovation meeting is scheduled for November 6th at 5 p.m. They're at DAC, right? Yep. The district office. Our Policy and Legislative meeting is scheduled for November 7th, and they're both at 5 p.m. at DAC. And then our Finance and Facilities meeting is scheduled for December 3rd at 6 p.m. at DAC.
You want to say something? I just, first of all, thank you again to everybody, but also to our administration for working so hard and putting this together. I personally have fought for a strategic plan that really utilized and centered the voice of our community, because when your voice is being used to build the strategic plan, I really think that you then buy more into the school district and want to see us succeed. As everybody has said tonight, collaboration is critical to get our students what we want. I too am an OYTF mom. Dr. Kelgati will tell you that I often say to him, why can my boy not play on the field that he's gonna eventually go to high school with? I too have fought for that. But what I encourage is, and I'm speaking as one person, not for the board, it's really critical that everybody understands that, we don't have any information. And so all we know is what's out on social media. We haven't seen plans, we haven't seen any of that. So really help us crystallize this and put it together and let us be part of it. But asking us to stand behind something that we don't know a lot about is really hard to do. So I just want to be very clear. as one person speaking, not the board, not the administration. Please don't assume that you know what we know and don't know. And please don't assume, because a lot of people have put out there that we have personal agendas, please don't assume that we have personal agendas. My agenda for myself is the students and the teachers and the administrators in this district, and I fight really hard for them. So I just wanted to share that. I needed to address some things that were said in social media that were very upsetting, so I just wanted to put that out there. But we can work together, and we will work together when all of the things benefit our school district and our community. So thank you very much for coming out tonight. Please come to more meetings and please participate, because it was amazing to have everyone here this evening.
You're the reason I'm coming up here, because everybody got thanked, but we do have elected officials here, and I thank them for coming. We touch a lot of municipalities, a lot of different taxing bodies. Montgomery, Village of Montgomery has always been there to work with us and talk with us, and it's greatly appreciated. And so I had to come up here, Matt, because I had to remind you, right, of a conversation that we had. And for those that don't know, what was that, 7 or 8 years ago? 7 or 8 years ago, we sat at Oswego East, right? Big lights, right? And failed referendum, a couple of them, right? And if you remember, one of the things I said was, this is going to be painful for years, perhaps a decade. We will not recover in a year. We will continue to have these pieces. And as I listen to people, for those who don't know a little bit about me, I reside here, right, 7th largest school district, and I work in the 9th largest school district, and my wife is in 204, so I get exposed to a lot of these looted districts, right? And I will tell you that, here's the painful part, right? A lot of what we are experiencing is growth, but on top of that, and I always listen, people get tired of me talking about this, Illinois is a very unique state, and there is a line of unit districts, large unit districts, that stretches from almost Wisconsin right down to here. And next to those unit districts, you have high school only districts, and you have elementary only districts. Here's some numbers for you. Yorkville spends $15,000 per student. Newark, which is right next to it, their high school district spends $22,000 per student. This is going to be hard for me to explain, but I'll try. Imagine, if you will, you have a unit district with $100, right? Think of all the things they have to do. Now think of yourself, if you have a high school district, they got a $100 bucket, and there's a bunch of stuff they don't have to do. They don't have to worry about elementary students. They don't have to worry about junior high sports. And on top of that, they've got an elementary district in the same boundaries that have their own $100 bucket. And they don't have to worry about high school sports. This is why Minooka spends $21,000 in their high school district on students. Now, I used to, I'll be honest with you, I went through COVID and I thought, man, and then I thought to myself, wait a minute, maybe I got this all wrong. I've been sitting here for years thinking we need unit districts. We need unit districts. And those high school and elementary districts were able to maneuver through COVID, quite frankly, better than we were. I started to rethink things. Elgin, U46, second largest district. I believe Glenbard backs up to it. They spend thousands of dollars per student more than what you're going to get in U46. So I always play the educator, and sorry, some people hate that. But I do like when the community comes out. And I can only hope we take these macro pieces too, because I guarantee they affect us. I promise you, even when you don't see it, they affect us. And 7 or 8 years ago, I said, someday there's going to be a board up here trying to explain that, and I hope we remember. So thank you, but on top of this, thank you. Because you didn't have to come tonight. Both of you didn't have to. Yeah, I know. Well, he called me a hero one time for the grandfather clause on the Thompson. You remember? Yeah, I'm going to hold you to that. But thank you, because you're here, and you remember those pieces, and you remember those words. So thank you also to the elected officials. Obviously, thank you to community members. It means a lot. That's it.
Okay, now we need to conduct a little bit of business. Board members, action item 9.1, approval of transportation routing system. Can I have a motion, please? Yeah, come on up here.
I could do my teacher voice, but. Make a motion to approve Tyler routing system to replace Versatran, as presented.
Ms. Venmus? Dr. Murillo? Ms. Johnson? Mr. Cerrone? Ms. Simulton? Ms. Simulton?
Aye.
Mr. Ploger?
Aye.
Mr. Gatewood?
Motion passes 7-0. Okay, action item 9.2. Can I have a motion to table this item and move to November 18th?
Make a motion to table 9.2 and move to November 18th.
The approval of the radio and repeater RFP.
Mr. Cerrone? Mr. Gatewood? Ms. Venmus? Mr. Ploger? Ms. Simulton?
Aye.
Dr. Murillo? Ms. Johnson?
Motion passes 7-0. Action item 9.3, approval of policy 2:125, school board. Can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion to approve board policy, section 2, school board 2:125 as presented.
Mr. Ploger? Mr. Gatewood? Ms. Venmus? Mr. Cerrone? Ms. Simulton?
Aye.
Ms. Johnson? Dr. Murillo?
Motion passes 7-0. Action item 9.4, approval of field trip overnight and/or more than 200 miles.
Make a motion to approve the field trip for overnight and or more than 200 miles.
Mr. Gatewood? Dr. Murillo? Ms. Johnson? Mr. Cerrone? Ms. Simulton?
Aye.
Mr. Ploger? Ms. Venmus?
Motion passes 7-0. Action, 10.1. Can I have a motion to adjourn?